Shana Tova for everybody. Birshuta Rabbanim, with the permission of the rabbis, I'd like to share a couple of words with you, but before that, I want to have some announcements. There's Musaf after the sermon. Okay? And not only that, if you stay all the way to the service, you'll get to hear 100 sounds of the shofar. So I highly recommend you to stay all the way until the end. It is worth it. Great. Now I can start. A couple of months ago, my family and I became US citizens, Baruch Hashem. Thank you. Thank you. It was an incredible experience for us, and we are so happy and blessed to be part of this great nation. We are thankful that this country opened its doors to welcome us. Now that I am an American rabbi, I feel entitled to teach about baseball in my sermons. Of course. In mid-August, I was invited together with 300 rabbis to attend the annual rabbinical symposium organized by AIPAC. Rabbis from all over the country come to DC and we study together. Usually it is on a Tuesday night and Wednesday. Tuesday night, the dinner takes place in a very exciting venue like the Kennedy Center, the Library of Congress, the National Archives building. This year, the dinner took place at the Nats Stadium. AIPAC arranged for the rabbis to go into the batting cages where the players warm up, to walk onto the field, to visit bullpen, and then a great dinner. Some rabbis took a tour before the dinner, and some others, including me, took a tour after the dinner. It was awesome being in the locker rooms, in the press rooms, in the gym, and walking out onto the field like a real player. Even though the stadium was empty because it was not a game night, it was an amazing experience. All this happened close to 10 p.m. at night. Given the fact that the tour guide told us that the next game would take place on Friday, we were able to visit many places that usually are not open to the public. The last stop was the field. A friend, teacher, and mentor of mine, Rabbi Manes Kogan, and I lingered to take some extra pictures, especially on the sign that says National Park, where the umpire usually stands and makes the calls. Up to this point, sounds like a good story, right? Well, please say yes, otherwise I'll be... Thank you, appreciate that. What comes next, I believe, is really unique, and I have not heard anything like this before. We finished taking the pictures, and suddenly we realized the group had left, and we were alone on the field. I mean, alone. First thing I thought was, well, nobody's here. It's my opportunity to run around the field. But I saw the last of the rabbis exiting through a door, so I rushed and knocked on that door, which was already locked. Luckily for us, he heard us and he opened the door and we were out of the field area. Not luckily for our helper, because other doors were locked and the rest of the group disappeared. So now we are not only two rabbis locked in, but besides Manes and me, Rabbi Stephen Kane was with us too, locked in the stadium. Let's try to the elevator, I said. Good idea. Maybe if we get locked in there, that's the end. Anyway, we made it to the first floor. That was not an easy elevator ride, to be honest. A lot of prayers there. In any case, we started looking for the group, and the stadium was empty. This is like the wilderness, and we have no idea where the exit was, trying all the exits, and they are all locked. The APAC bus was leaving. Well, who cares? There's Uber, yes? Well, but we started walking looking for an open gate, and I called Rabbi Ari Sunshine to tell him we were locked in. Meanwhile, I started screaming, "Help! We need help!" And my voice echoed through the whole stadium, "Help! Help!" "Where are you?" Ari asked me. "Locked in the stadium, trying to find the exit." "Oh, this must be one of your jokes, Fabian." "No, please, help! Help, help." "Okay," said Ari, "do not panic, go to home plate." You think I know where home base is? I mean, if it was a soccer field, I would know, the field. But asking me to go to home base or home plate, wherever, is like asking me about a road in Kuala Lumpur. I mean, help, we need help, 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 help. At that point, I remember what the tour guide told us, that the next game was Friday. We were 3 days away. I thought, not bad. At that moment, my brain could not do a better thing than starting to bring to life pictures of my family. I couldn't stop thinking of them. After 10 minutes of fruitless search for an exit, I started to think that we were going to sleep in the stadium. How crazy it is to get locked in a place with a capacity for 41,313 spectators and hundreds of staff members and maintenance workers. After 20 minutes of wandering in the National Park, and while the lights started to dim, a security guard showed up and said, "What are you doing here?" "We're not watching a game." I said, "There's no player called help. We need to find the exit." "Oh, that's easy. See that sign? Go to the right, and then through the doors, then turn left." No, 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 I said. "We're walking to there together, and you take me to the exit." Well, here I am, out of the National Park, and making a sermon for Rosh Hashana. Out of it. Because isn't it the story of our lives, being locked in and trying to find the exit? Isn't it the reason why we are here today, trying to find the exit to our mundane worlds and get into a spiritual moment where we can elevate ourselves? Most of us have stories when we were locked, looking for guidance, looking for the exit, and we ask for help. And we're here today, the first day of the year, to ask for help, to exit the old year and find the right keys that open the gates to the new year. There is a beautiful story in the Talmud that goes like this. When the temple was destroyed, for the first time, many groups of young priests gathered together with the temple keys in their hands. They ascended to the roof of the sanctuary and said before God, "Master of the universe, since we did not merit to be faithful treasurers and the temple is being destroyed, let the temple keys be handed to you." And they threw them upward, and a kind of a palm of a hand emerged and received the keys from them. We're here to find the keys that open the gates because we are all locked in. Some people in this sanctuary are locked in old stories. Some others are locked in stories that do not belong to them. Some people here are locked in their own distress by not enjoying the blessings that belong to them. Some people here are locked in with addictions, and some of them do not know how to ask for help. In different ways and capacities, we came here to find the exit, or maybe to recover the keys. I invite you for a minute to think of those who offered their keys to unlock the doors of your confinement. I invite you to pause for some seconds and think, who was there to help you? Who was next to you when you most needed it? Whom did you lock in? Who was ready to assist you in order to find the way out to your problem? Who locked you in? Who has the keys? Where are these keys? Another beautiful story from the Talmud tells us the following. Rabbi Elazar says, since the day the temple was destroyed, the gates of prayer were locked, and prayer is not accepted as it once was. Yet despite the fact that the gates of prayer were locked with the destruction of the temple, the gates of tears were not locked. And one who cries before God may rest assured that his prayers will be answered. We're gathered together today to listen to the broken sounds of the shofar. The shofar cries with us, asking God to find us the exit, because we all know we are locked in. In today's reading, we just read and saw how Hagar was locked in her impossibility to see a better future. She's determined not to find a way out. In tomorrow's reading, Abraham was locked in his faith. He could not see the consequence of sacrificing his own son. Both realized that at the end of the day, the exit from confinement, the way out from captivity, comes from Hashem. From the stories of the Talmud that we hear, there's one special story that I want to highlight, but now from the Tanakh. It's one of the most beautiful stories. It's the conquest of Jericho. The city was walled. People inside were locked in. How were the Jews able to open those gates? How did they break the walls of confinement? Blowing the shofar. When we hear the shofar, we're asking for help. This is the same thing I did when I was locked in the stadium. From the story I told you in the Nats Park, the most important part I want to highlight today is the end of it. The security guard wanted to give me directions in order to find the exit. I told him, no way, you come with me, and I literally grabbed him. Dear friends, a new year brings you the opportunity to find the exit. But most important, it brings the possibility to take someone by his or her hand and take them to the exit. We do not want to hear directions. Most of us need someone to hold our hand and take us to the exit. We need someone to open our eyes and show us we are not locked in. Think of the moments someone took you by the hand and walked with you, next to you. In Hebrew, the word for confinement is sgira. With the exact same letters of the word sgira, we can make the word girsa, a version, a way to see reality. Dear friends, being locked in is just a version of our reality. I was not locked in the stadium. The reality was I did not know where the exit was, the open one. I know there are a lot of signs, but the open one. We're not locked in our stories. That is just a version of who we are. We just need the help. Do not miss the opportunity to ask for help. Do not miss the opportunity to be a helper. Do not let the version that says you are locked in be the only girsa, the only possible reality. This year, be a better version of yourself. This year, always remember and have in front of you the line from the Psalms that says, Esai naim elearim, I lift my eyes to the mountain. From where will my help come? Ezri me'im Hashem, my help comes from Hashem, maker of heaven and earth. May we all find help, may we all find the right keys for the right doors, and may we all be inscribed in the book of life. Amen. Shana Tova.